Hey everybody, welcome back to Grand Prix Anaheim here. My name is Marshall Sutcliffe and I am joined by Nate Price here in the booth. Alright, I guess we're just going to get right to the action here. This is round 5 of Block Constructed. We have Sam Black on the left. He is the man who is largely credited for being the innovator of the Spirits deck that we saw at the last Pro Tour in Barcelona. You get a good look at Sam there. He looks very calm. He always looks like that. And I think cerebral is a good way to describe him. And on the right, you see Patrick Chapin here, who is shuffling his deck, and I don't know if he's actually taking a mulligan here or not. Patrick, he doesn't really need a big introduction. Everybody knows who Patrick is, and he is, looks like he's going to be running. Ooh, I'm taking a look at his list right now, and it's pretty spicy. I think this is going to be the first time that we get to see a deck like this. I'm just going to say one word, and the word is Miracle. Hi, Rashad.
Hey, Marshall, how you doing?
You are a non-Nate Price individual.
Yeah, I figured since he kind of snuck off.
Yeah, he did. I think he didn't like me anymore.
Yeah, that's okay, but I'm here for a little bit.
Okay.
So we can watch this awesome game of Magic the Gathering. What are these decks we have here?
I'll take a look. You're going to be happy.
Am I?
Yeah.
You know me, right?
I mean, read this.
Am I going to see 25 forests on Under the Land? Because
No.
that would make me very happy.
Oh, that's what never mind. You're going to be very unhappy then.
Oh,
I mean, there are forests that we're going to see in this match, but they are not the marquee cards.
Oh, I am pretty happy.
Yeah, so this is going to be the first time that we're going to get a chance to see sort of the next generation of Miracle deck.
Is this next level Miracle? Do I owe some royalties now?
Did you get a license from Patrick to say that?
I don't know how much those cost.
He'll tell you.
I'll ask him later. But right now, I'm just going to leave because I think Nathaniel Mark Price is back. Are you back?
I'm back.
Bye.
All right, so Patrick's going to lead off with whatever the red-white dual land. What is that called? A cliff-top retreat. Yeah. Welcome back, Nate, by the way.
Thank you very much.
You had a little bit of a rocky start there. I kind of missed you.
No, it's okay. I'm really sorry. I want to apologize to you guys out there. We'll try to get Rashad back in at some point when you can see his lovely smile face and just see.
And don't you guys want to know what hat he's wearing today? I mean, it's kind of why we come to these things, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. His silky smooth voice is definitely
silky smooth.
Soothes the soul.
All right, so Sam's going to fetch a mountain on his turn. Why is Sam fetching a mountain?
Let's see.
Mountains weren't in the Spirits deck that we saw in Barcelona, were they? No, they were not. You were not getting a turn 1 mountain.
Interesting.
So we're going to see if Sam's playing something other than Spirits. I see a swamp in his deck. Okay, so it looks like Sam's on this Jund deck that you were talking about.
Well, I mean, 4/1 Hasting 4-powered 4-mana creatures are.
I see on his deck list, I see 4 Falconwrath Aristocrat.
Very strong.
Which, again, is a card that I keep looking to as something that's really awesome. I also see a card that I've played a lot in Limited and that I thought we would be seeing a lot more of in this format, in this block format, but that we haven't. And that card is Tragic Slip.
Tragic Slip in this format effectively just kills things.
Yeah, it really does. It's one of the few cards that can kill a turn 1 ramper.
Yes.
And at the same time can kill a Wolfyar Silverheart at some point in the game too.
So good.
Works pretty well with Falconwrath Aristocrat as well.
And it does.
You can enable Morbid at any time and give something -13, -13. All right, so both players seem content to just play Drago at this point. And Patrick, all right, we've got our first Miracle of the day. It is a Temporal Mastery. And he has, in fact, miracled it, as we say, and he's going to be taking an extra turn after this. So he gets to play a land. Let's see if he has a play this turn or not. He doesn't. He's just going to go to directly do a second turn. So he uses it to get ahead on mana.
He uses it to explore for free, basically.
Yep.
Not bad.
Not bad at all.
And it's definitely something this Miracles deck wants to do. It's got expensive spells that if it doesn't Miracle...
Ooh, Sam Black just says, Olivia Valdarin, what are you going to do about it? And passes the turn. All right. Now, Patrick's going to sacrifice an Evolving Wilds on his end step, but one of the things that, I'm noting here is that Patrick is clearly playing a control deck right now. Patrick is well known for this.
Oh, yes.
He loves his control decks. He's very, very proficient at actually playing them. He knows the ingredients. He wants to build one. And after having, an entire format, an entire tournament of this format under his belt, he's going to be able to tune his deck, his control deck, to put the answers in to the things that he wants to question. And that's a big, big deal for a control deck.
Yes.
All right, he's going to think twice on end step.
Interestingly, it looks...
Tamiyo comes down. That seems very good here. I wouldn't be surprised if he just slammed that.
Yeah. He's only running a... Well, I mean, I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah.
So he's just going to instantly play it and assume he's just going to tap down Olivia Voldaren with it, which he does.
Tamiyo is a bit riskier in this matchup than it is in a lot of others because of the Falkenrath Aristocrat.
Absolutely.
But Sam, who you see right there on your screen, most likely would have played it on turn 4 instead of Olivia Voldaren.
Do you think so? I mean, setting up a turn where it goes Olivia into Falkenrath Aristocrat, it gets a lot more damage in
You
it.
mean like that one right
There it is, yeah. I think he probably would have done it this way anyway.
That's fair.
All right, so he's going to bring Tamiyo to 1. Wow. Falkenrath Aristocrat, man, I am keeping my eye on that card. It is doing serious work this weekend, and we've only seen a few matches so far.
Yeah. It's really unfortunate, too, because Patrick has gone away from a large number of Bonfire of the Dams, only running 1, and is playing multiple copies of Rolling Temblor, which under normal circumstances would be really, really good. But Falkenrath Aristocrat flies, and Temblor hits ground.
Man. That's bad news. All right, so Patrick's up to 7 mana, which is definitely where he wants to be. It looks like he decided to keep... Well, we'll see what he decided to keep locked down. Probably Olivia Voldaren, but it might even have been the Aristocrat just because Olivia's a 3/3 and isn't getting any bigger.
Max Ballin, if you're still in the hall, please come to the main stage. Max Ballin.
They just call it for Max Ballin.
Max Ballin?
That is a name.
That's pretty sweet. Oh, they both untapped. He kept a mountain tapped.
Fair.
So he knew that Tamiyo was going to die anyway to one or the other, so he decided just to keep him off of a mana for a turn.
Makes sense to me.
Yep. I thought he might have an answer in his hand for one or the other, but he doesn't look like he does.
He might have Feeling Dread.
We have a Zealous Conscript coming down, which I'm assuming is going to take Tamiyo. He's then going to attack with everything, and then he's going to minus Tamiyo, draw 3, that kills Tamiyo.
Yeah.
This is a huge play for Sam.
Wow.
Does this resolve? All right, so I see a Feeling of Dread in Patrick's hand.
So he did have an answer for those 2 attackers, but...
Unfortunately, though, he's still going to get to draw the cards because they will be tapped. It doesn't have to do with attacking. It's just if the cards are tapped or not.
Yeah. So the question then becomes, does Patrick... I mean, it's a lot of life, right?
It's a pretty good... Okay, so he's going to... Ooh, here we go. So let's see if we can hit a miracle. He's going to Thought Scour himself. Oh, there was a Terminus. And it's another Feeling of Dread, which is fine for preventing life, but Tamiyo's gone. And Sam is going to restock his hand here. This is going to be a big play.
Miracles are just amazing for the purpose of
tension.
Yeah, everyone's favorite Magic moments have come down to moments of tension with ridiculous top decks.
Feeling of dread.
You get that sense every time someone casts a miracle.
Aristocrat and Olivia.
All right. So the 2 vampires turn sideways, leaving only
And
the
Sam's going to jam for 3.
I will activate.
And I think we're going to see Tamiyo bite it here, which is
beating.
1, 2, 3. Oh man! Ancestral Recall too. Zealous Conscripts does so many things. That was nasty.
This is on my. I mean, I'm keeping track of all his conscript stories, and we now have a really good one.
Yeah. And that wasn't even. I mean, all he did was just cast. There wasn't some complex, crazy board. He was just yeah, that's incredible. And it looks like Patrick just has to say go. I see a Think Twice in his hand. There's also one in his yard. And he's got the another Feeling of Dread in his hand as well.
So this is definitely going to be...
So is this the point in the match where Sam sits back on his threats and just says, look, you have to beat these? Or does he keep committing things to the board?
I don't think you can commit anything to the board when your opponent's
All right,
playing
see a
Terminus.
vessel, another terminus, and land.
Second time that he's had one card from being the same.
Yeah. Now,
Can't think of
Patrick's
that
a pro. Yeah, he's not going to let that bother him. But.
I mean, you can never think of it that way anyway. Like a card that's face down and in your deck is a blank card for all you care, even when it hits the graveyard.
That's right.
Probabilities are all the same.
He's going to abundant growth a swamp just to get a card draw out of it. Looks like he's got quite a few lands in his hand here.
Creatures he's got on the board doesn't really matter.
No. And we're going to just see, Patrick is just digging now. He's flashback the other thing twice that was in his yard, and he's not really trying to get a miracle because I think he can just hardcast the miracles that he really cares about, namely Terminus.
Yeah.
Is he running Snapcaster Mage?
He is not running any Snapcasters in his main deck.
Okay.
He's not running in his sideboard either.
Terminus.
No Snapcasters.
Okay. Terminus. I don't know if he just drew it, but he's playing a Terminus.
He did not. He drew another thing twice.
Okay, so he is terminusing. Wow. I mean,
Or maybe he did draw. Well, if he'd just drawn, he would have miracled, right?
yeah, and he didn't. So he was setting up the game so that he could get to a key. Terminus.
All right, and now we've seen Sam's hand. We know he has a lot of lands in it, so it's going to be interesting to see how he moves forward from this point on.
Well, a Pilgrim just kicked things off. And he's going to play a Wolfir Silverheart. So he definitely had a plan as far as rebuilding. You see this a lot when you're playing against a control deck with a creature-based deck where you put out a sufficient wave of threats so that you make the guy have a sweeper.
Yeah.
And then what often it comes down to is do you have the second sweeper?
Yep.
Or excuse me, do you have the second wave of threats that must be answered?
Yes.
And he just put 13 power on the table in the following turn. So in this case, the answer was yeah, he does.
Yeah. Patrick is not phased in the slightest with a
No.
pair of Feeling Dreads in his hand.
And I think maybe one in the yard still. Like he flashed one back, but
looks like he's only got the two in his hand.
all right. So he is going to think twice here. He's going to draw an Evolving Wilds,
Feeling of dread, tap your
and he's just going to flash. He's actually just going to
Fog.
main phase fog you. We see 9 lands on the table for Sam. That's in a deck like his. That's often indicative of a little bit of flood happening. I know he's got at least another forest in his hand as well.
Sure.
Well, it's a card at least. Borderland Ranger getting yet another land. He is also going to be shuffling his library, so those bottom 3 cards that he had on the bottom from Terminus, the Olivia Voldarin, the Falconrath Aristocrat, and the Zealous Conscripts are going to be floating around in his deck somewhere, which is not a big factor, but it's something.
It is certainly something.
Those are 3 really great threats that he'd like to have in his hand, and can't draw them from the bottom, so maybe they're not there anymore. How does Patrick win?
Flashback thing twice.
Entreat the Angels.
Oh, that card.
Yeah, nothing big.
So now that he's stabilized pretty fully here, he can kind of sit down and wait. He can really start to try to maximize on his miracle draws.
Now with a Desolate Lighthouse in play too, assuming my eyes are not failing me.
No, I think that's
Oh, that is
it's an Evolving
Yep, you're
Wilds.
right. Okay.
So the attacks.
Either that or he just sacked his Desolate Lighthouse. Is he running a Desolate Lighthouse? Because that's one of my
running a
favorite
pair,
cards.
yeah.
Oh man, he wants to hit that really bad now. Those enable miracles.
Not only that, I mean, plus I think at this point he's just hunting.
Yes.
Like he wants to find his win condition.
Hit and entreat. Obviously, Tameo is also a win condition for him, but
True.
Miracle and
and we have an entreat the
There's an
angels.
Entreat the Angels.
Tap
Yeah,
out
something
1,
like
2, 3, 4, 5 angels, I believe.
You can always tell when something's going really well for Patrick.
Because he starts getting kind of animated.
Yeah, flurry of motion.
It's 4 angels. Well, what does Sam have that can deal with that?
Bonfire exit is 5.
Well, he has a bonfire of the damned
Yes.
in his hand.
That would definitely
Target
do it.
you.
I like total still 2014.
No, it was 14, but
And
no,
Patrick's tapped out from that too, so.
And Sam, you're still at 20?
Yeah. You all set?
Yes.
But we didn't see an attack here, or did we?
We didn't.
So what happened?
I'm not sure.
Your turn.
See if I can't piece this together.
Two think twice.
Oh, because he think twice to get the entreat the angels. So that entreat the angels was during his attack steps. Sam chose not to attack, and then post combat he cleaned the board.
Oh, I see. Okay. Good call. Yeah, I was like, what phase of the game are we on?
I knew I could figure it out.
Yeah.
So now it's on Sam. Like he knows he's facing down feeling of dread, and well, I guess. I mean, at this point, he keeps chipping away, right? Is that in his hand? Conscripts.
No? Is it?
Flashback.
So we have to think twice. Brimstone Fall? Templar, yeah, Rolling Templar, right?
And here comes that
Feeling of dread.
to
Two big
keep
ones.
the guys at bay.
So the two big dudes, and then he is going to get in for 2 to bring Patrick to 7 here.
I wonder what Sam's thinking about here. His hand, I see a forest. It's definitely a red card. He does a masterful job of disguising his hand from us.
Yeah, he actually uses both hands to do it.
All right. Patrick draws his card for the turn. Finds some.
Hey, it's a desolate lighthouse.
Super.
They call it the loot house.
Yep, desolate.
Rolling Templar.
Steve Staden was telling me how difficult he found it to just write lighthouse.
Yeah.
During coverage.
All right, so Rolling Templar is going to sweep away the Borderland Ranger, and then Patrick's just going to send the turn back. I see a Borderland Ranger in hand for Sam as well.
Patrick's got yet another feeling of dread to give him even more turns. I don't think he's got the mana after Tembloring at this point to activate the lighthouse. So yeah, he just chooses a feeling of dread. Now at this point, do you activate the lighthouse with most of your mana tapped like this at the end of your opponent's turn just to dig a little deeper?
I think so. I tend to be okay. So we see Olivia Voldaren come down for Sam here. I mean, yeah, you want to try to maximize on your miracle draws, but having cards in hand, he's holding what, 2 lands right now?
Yeah.
It has a lot of value as well. I mean, look at his mana. He could just cast and treat the angels for a big effect on the board.
Very good point.
You know, I think it's probably greedy to try to wait.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you.
We see a Tameo, I think, for him there,
Excellent.
which is going to be good, potentially. Sam's been able to keep on pretty constant pressure, and we have...
Oh, wow. That is massive.
Whoa.
The ability to take an extra turn and still get a Tameo into play is...
He can loot as well if he wants. Like, he's got a lot of stuff going on here. He's going to get another draw step at a Miracle.
Temporal Mastery is so good because...
I love that card now.
I mean, like, even casting it on the second turn to
Lighthouse?
just take an extra turn, play another land, and draw a card
Uh-huh.
is good. But when you get it for 2 mana at this late stage in the game and get to do things
Yeah.
in addition to take another turn, it's just nuts.
Yeah. So Patrick has taken this opportunity to activate his Desolate Lighthouse, and he drew a Rolling Templar, which he also discarded.
Yeah.
And so now we're going to see Tameo come down.
Tameo?
What is it going to do?
It's going to tap Olivia Voldaren first off.
Okay. Oh, he's drawing too.
Okay.
Because he just drew another Temporal Mastery.
this.
So he's going to take another turn after this one. So he's digging.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't tap down Olivia and then choose to draw 3 this turn, unless he's just planning on using her for draw 4.
Tidings is a good card.
Yeah, I would not be mad at him.
But now you do that for sure, right? Because you don't want to just throw her away because he's got a temporal mastery in
Lock down
hand. Like
Olivia.
he's going to be taking the next turn anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he did it. How much mana does he have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7.
There's more off the
1,
table,
2,
too.
3, 4. So he can loot house and mastery, it looks like. Entreat?
And treat.
Is it?
Looks like it.
It looks kind of angely. 5, 6, 7.
Temporal Mastery.
Take another turn after this one. Now we're going to see what he wants to do because
Yeah.
he can actually lock down another. Oh my goodness!
Wow.
Now we see another temporal mastery come
Does he
off.
just win the game
How?
and treat with an extra turn in the bag?
Yeah, he might. If he has enough to make the full 20 tokens, he can just take this thing down.
Yeah, I mean, it's what, 5
He's
tokens?
drawing 3 off of Tamio right now. There's an entreat for sure.
4. Oh, 11 is for 4.
This will be what, his 3rd or 4th turn in a row that he's taken?
3rd, yeah. Okay, so he's one shy of just being able to outright end the game.
Which certainly matters here.
Yeah, I mean, but he's got Bonfire in his deck too, so.
Well, that's a good point. Let's see if he draws it here. He could just play the other entreat.
Yeah.
So then that means that Sam's out is a bonfire as well. Is Patrick playing any counterspells? Are there dissipates in
There
Patrick's
are
work?
not, no. Nope, he has nothing to stop that. So Sam's looking at 2 more bonfires as outs.
I want to attack.
All right, not to determine his attacks. He still has a feeling of dread in his graveyard too. So
It looks like Sam's tapping a bunch of mana for something here.
Devil's play.
Well, aren't we still on Patrick's turn here?
Oh, he pinged it and took it.
He pinged it and stole it. Right. I did not. I thought. I didn't think he had 7 mana. I guess he did. I thought he had like
Yeah,
less than that.
it's hard to tell. He's hit a couple that were off the camera.
Yeah. Okay. So he stole one and then he blocked with one.
Is this optional? Like, I
Asking
mean,
me a
it's obviously not
question.
optional, but if it's a missed, is this a missed trigger?
No, this would be a game rule violation. So that's correct, because you started to resolve the ability, but you didn't resolve it completely. So it'll be a warning for a game rule violation for you. And,
Looks like there's a game rule violation.
The backup counter on.
So.
They can hear. They can hear one.
Okay.
Okay.
You're at
Have you
12?
received any warnings for game rule violations previously?
Yeah. So it sounds like there was a game rule violation about starting a trigger, which is I'll ping your guy, I'll steal him. But
Yeah.
part of the resolution of that trigger is that Olivia also gets a +1/+1 counter. That first trigger, and it looks like he hadn't put that trigger on or that counter on yet,
Just a basic.
and then he went to do it after.
Yeah. Okay, I see now.
But he still gets it. It's probably just a warning or something, and it's not a big thing.
Onslaught Seal players, that is time of the round. Onslaught Seal players, that is time. Finish your matches in the 5-turn rule. If you have any
Oh yeah,
questions,
baby!
please call a judge.
Here comes a big entreat as well.
Leave enough mana for Helium Dread as well.
Okay,
Entreat for 4 more.
so entreat for what? 3?
Verbal confirmation for the
One,
two of the current
2, 3, 4.
7 and the 12.
All right, thank you.
They're running out of angel tokens down there. There's not enough in California to do how many angel tokens Patrick's made
I
here.
will lock down.
This is a lot of angels. Many angels have come to Patrick Chapin's aid.
It's true. So he is representing, I think, lethal. I mean, if Olivia can ping 2 things, I guess he can't ping and steal 2 things.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 mana.
That's locked.
No, is she untapping?
Oh, from the previous
No.
turn?
No, because on one of the turns,
Yeah.
he Tamio'd it. You know, it doesn't like it's his next untap. So it doesn't matter if Patrick's taken 3 turns in between that.
Yep. He also kept the Pilgrim tap out, looks like, with his extra activation during those many turns.
Okay. So is there going to be a bonfire for Sam here? I think he has a Pillar of Flame in his hand.
It's not going to be enough, though.
No, it's not. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. He has got 13 mana that I can see.
That's what I counted too, yeah.
You can see a big crowd forming around these pillars of the game.
Yeah.
We do got to pick up pace.
Other matches already in game 3.
What a miracle. I said, what a miracle.
Boo. Owen is he playing the red version? All right, so we're told that Owen is also on the same deck that Chapin's playing
Yeah, I
here.
don't know if I'd want to be playing Arcane Melee.
Oh my goodness, against the Miracle deck? Really? Oof.
Oh my.
So he like been treated for
Wow.
Owen did?
Arcane Melee is a card that you can read very easily and understand and not understand it very. You just sort of overlook it. You
I'll
know?
tap your.
All right, so tap that guy down.
Better safe than sorry.
Yep. Patrick knows what he's doing here. He's not going to mess around. Okay, so that was his Zealous Conscripts from before. And he's going to take Tameo.
What's he going to do with it? Draw some cards? Yep.
Draw cards on me, so he's going to draw 3.
None of them are Bonfire.
No, but I did see Falconwrath Aristocrat, which could do some work here.
Yeah.
He needs to leave up mana for Olivia to steal one of these, though, because that takes care of 2 of them.
Yeah.
Then he can block with another, but then he's still dead.
Yeah.
I think
he's just
Sam
dead.
might just be dead here. I don't think he has enough activations to make this work. Being able to ping and steal something with Olivia is a really sweet ability, but it's very mana intensive.
Yeah.
All right, and Sam's just going to pack it in.
And Patrick Chapin gets some divine intervention. Ends up taking this game 1 against Sam Black, this red, white, blue miracle. There are definitely cards that are going to be making their way out.
Is it possible?
Can you believe that turn sequence that Patrick had? That was nuts.
Yeah.
No.
Man, like,
You got to look at Rashad there.
there you guys go. There's a little
He's over
fan
there.
Hi,
service.
Rashad. He's wearing one of my favorite versions of his hat today. Not my favorite, but it's up there.
I'm curious as to whether he's bought one of 2 things this weekend so far. I mean, he needs to buy a hat at every location he goes to.
Okay.
But I found out that he has an affinity for mugs, too. He made sure to buy a mug in every city that we were in on that last week-long
Yeah,
stint.
I have you on the
2 week-long
computer
stint.
as well.
Very interesting.
Got to know him, huh?
Yeah. Sometimes you need some mugs, and sometimes you need some more mugs.
I don't even drink coffee.
Me neither.
I have very little use for mugs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Steins, I have a massive use for it. I will drink me some beer
Yeah.
occasionally.
I don't even drink that very much. Kind of nitty.
My friends and I, opened a brewery in Indianapolis.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, out of your closet, or?
I was originally home brewing, but they like a full setup and location.
Whoa,
and everything
that's
now.
kinda
So
cool.
People who come into Gen Con and want to go out a little bit, 5 minutes out of downtown Indianapolis towards the east side, like, you head out and check out some cool stuff. So, yeah. So,
Getting some updates from Twitter. I see that Luis just said 3 time walks and an entreat later. I'm 4-1 at GP Anaheim.
wow.
So
Ironically enough,
looks
but
like he's playing the same deck, or at least the Miracle base. He actually let me take a little gander at his deck when we were out walking around beforehand. And
that's interesting. I'm really curious as to why some of these players switched and who worked together, because Sam and Luis were on different teams working their way into
Sam
Black.
yeah, but he's
Oh,
playing.
no, I'm sorry, not Sam Black. Chapin. And,
Yeah.
and Luis were on different teams moving in.
Did you see who he credited for the Patrick.
Yeah, it's Ebro and LSV.
Yeah, it says Efro and LSV made the deck. So
Interesting.
who knows?
Yeah. There's been a lot of audibles that have happened in the last couple of weeks, switching to new decks. I mean, Sam switched from a deck that we all pegged as the breakout, like big breakout deck of the tournaments. I mean, more so than Miracles, which ended up
Maybe.
winning.
I don't know. I mean, when you win, it kind of dominates
that's a
the
really good
headlines,
point.
you know. But no, I know what you're saying.
It's just incredible the consistency that the deck showed. So.
Yeah. Huh. What do you think about this matchup? It feels pretty skewed towards Patrick to me.
I have no idea.
It
I
just
can't
feels
ever
like-
tell how a Miracles matchup looks.
Oh, okay.
Like, well, that's the problem. Like the deck, like it's so swingy. Like when you're winning, you are just crushing your opponent. But then other times, like you look like you're just losing, and then you crush your opponent.
Yeah.
And other times you just lose. Like the cards are there or they're not. Like this is a math deck. It is purely a math deck.
I like math decks.
I don't have a problem.
I don't
with
like
them.
math that much, but I like math
Like,
decks.
I don't dislike it. I think it's interesting because I mean there is a lot of like people often sell short like the amount of thought that goes into Herp Derp Miracle, but there is a lot of thinking that goes behind
This deck has a lot more going on with that. I think that people that think that this deck is... Oh, we're underway here. So looks like Sam is just going to lead off with an Avacyn's Pilgrim, a play that we've seen a lot, and Cliff Drop Retreat from Patrick. And Sam has a Scorn Villager, so he's on the ramp plan that we were talking about before, where, you know, getting those big threats out early is super potent compared to not.
Temblor is going to be a shining star for Chapin.
If he can hit turn 3 Temblor... All right, so we're going to transform. So if Sam hits a land drop here, he's going to have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana at his disposal here.
What to do?
That is a
what to
ton
do.
of mana. It's going to be a Falconwrath Aristocrat pre-combat, and he's going to bash with both for 6. Now this is the kind of start that Sam would love to have against a deck like this.
Yeah, every time.
Every single time. I see a Temporal Mastery in Patrick's deck. It highlights the downside of the deck, where if you get these huge miracles in your hand without miracling them and it's early in the game, they just don't do anything.
It's a mulligan, effectively, yeah.
Exactly. And there's a feeling of dread that he wouldn't have minded last turn.
Yeah. But then again, I seriously doubt he's going to kick it out of bed today. Like, I mean, having it on this turn is still very good for him.
Yes.
Allows him to set up for a little bit. Very much like a Terminus sometime in the near future. Let's give it a whirl. Can I get a Terminus?
So
Survey
some
says-
card, Terminus, not a Terminus. I just assumed the second one was going to be a Terminus again. All right, tap,
So,
tap.
Did he mill? Oh, it was Evolving Wilds Lighthouse?
Lighthouse, yep.
Yeah, okay.
Post-combat Garrick Relentless from
That
Sam. He is just
card.
throwing haymakers here.
That card is so good.
All right, it's off camera, but there is a wolf that was made.
Yeah.
Or, I'm assuming so. I saw a wolf brought out. It might not actually be on the battlefield, though.
Pat hasn't untapped his land, so Sam
Looks
may
like
still
Sam's
be
still
thinking.
thinking. He looks
Yeah,
like he's going to fight
fight
his
his own
pilgrim.
guy.
Yeah, he's going to fight his pilgrim. He's going to flip this over. And what he can do with a transformed Garrick is he can cash in his other creatures for things like Wolfir Silverheart, for things like another Falconwrath Aristocrat.
Yeah.
Shiny sealed players, your scenes have been posted by the land station.
Well,
Please
Chapin
find your scenes
again
and
failed to find a Terminus. The Garrick is an incredibly good card in this matchup. Very, very good.
Seems okay. I mean, like, he can keep coming up with threats if he wants.
That's what makes it so good.
Just that he can cash in his lesser creatures for better ones.
Or even, like, yeah.
I mean, that seems fine.
That's fine. The ability to just continually make wolves, even should he decide to stick to that route, like, he gets around all of
It's
those.
just so slow.
He's got nothing but time.
Yeah, it's true. All right, so we see Think Twice into another. Oh, maybe it wasn't. I thought it was another Feeling of Dread, but he decided to flash his back. And looks like, we just made a wolf here. Are you surprised by that?
Not particularly.
Okay. And there's a Terminus off the top. So now we get to see the true power of this miracle mechanic. it wasn't forced. There was no think twicing or anything. It was just
Nope.
boom.
Up zipper. Those are going to go to the bottom. Don't forget
We
Sam.
do have a Garrick
Unless he
sitting there, though.
He sacrificed. Did he sacrifice them both to his aristocrat?
Why would he?
I don't know. They're in his graveyard.
He must have sacrificed his whole team.
Yeah.
And that makes sense, because when you have a Garrick the Veil cursed out, how many creatures you have in your graveyard matters.
Yes, that's a good point.
Yeah. I guess we're against dice here, so we're just writing numbers. It says 3, but shouldn't it be 4?
I have no idea what it actually
I mean,
says.
it was a 3 loyalty. He fought a 1/1 and went to
Yeah.
2. He's made 2
Yeah,
wolves. Those are pluses, so it should be 4.
right.
It's just hard for us to read it.
Yeah. It's unfortunate. Pat's got some lands that are definitely off the top of the screen.
Onslaught
You
Seal
can't see.
players, pairings for the second round are going up. Onslaught Seal players, pairings are being posted.
It's a
5.
Not bad.
Bash for 1.
You.
I mean,
Patrick doesn't want to use up. Oh, he's actually 1, 2, 3, 4. So he's got 6 mana here. So it looks like he's getting into temporal mastery range where he can start to kind of run away with the game a little bit if he needs to dig, or if he needs to if he gets a cameo down or something like
I think
that.
he might have more than 6.
Okay.
I think there might be something else.
Can't
on
quite
top of
see
that.
the. Yeah. Look like he's just going to pass. So he definitely has 7. And he doesn't want to use the temporal mastery because he's not really under any particular pressure here, and he can use it in a point in the game where he can just win off of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's really not that great for 7 mana unless you have enough lands in play that you're doing something else. Like, that's what makes the card so good.
Yeah, in this board state, he's cycling it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can get a lot more value out of it than that, unless of course you need to cycle.
Right. I mean, it's much better early. Like, if you have to draw that other card, it's fine. It's good early in the game as a cycle because getting ahead is so important. But at this point, like, incrementally, 1 turn on turn 8 is way different than getting ahead an extra land on turn 3.
That's right.
Feeling of dread.
Feeling of Dread, your 2 1/1s.
That's interesting.
So Patrick just wants to stay out of bonfire range. Right now, Sam could bonfire for 6 if he were to top deck it.
Yeah.
And he knows that Sam has a lot of. This gets dissipated. All right, so dissipate came in out of the board, it looks like.
Yep, he's got a full set of 4.
Okay, all 4 on the board, and decided he wanted. Is that a bonfire of the dam in Patrick's hand? Yeah.
Yes.
And if he does that, he can take out Garrick, and he can kill all the wolf tokens at once.
And there you go.
1, 2, 2, 2 to everything, redirect to Garrick, and the board is sweep. Now, Patrick's sitting on 1,000 mana with a clear board. This is what he wanted.
Yeah. Bonfire of the Damned, like, that's the advantage that this red version has.
We're going to see Zealous Conscripts come down, and it's just going to be a hasty 3/3, I believe, which is also going to get dissipated. Yeah, Patrick's just going to answer everything he faces here. I think we see a Vessel of Endless Rest in Patrick's hand, which is a ramp and fixing spell. They call it a mana rock in some circles. It's just off the camera there.
On fire back at the bottom.
All right, well, what's Sam looking for here? I mean, just
A
like
land,
anything,
apparently, yeah.
like an aristocrats would be ideal.
Aristocrats would be ideal.
Shiny sealed players, attention, shiny sealed players.
And Patrick's just playing Drago, and he has never been happier than just to play Drago. All right, so we see Wolfir Silverheart come down for Sam, but, Wolfir Silverheart's a 4/4.
Yeah.
Like, that's it, which is fine. I mean, he
needs
could
a little
do
buzz.
worse, but he would like a friend.
Flashback thing first.
And even that,
And we're going to
like,
flashback, I think, twice on Sam's ends up, and we're going to take another turn after the next one.
Yep, things are about to get out of hand.
Have we seen this before?
Yep, and you can even tell there, like, that minuscule hand motion Sam made was one of those, yeah, sure.
Yep, take
Yeah,
it.
You got me.
Do your worst.
Feeling of Dread is really good. Like, oh man. Patrick and Sam have got a long history of playing against each other too. Like both from.
Patrick decided to take another turn right now. I don't really understand why though. He's got a feeling of dread in his hand.
He's got 2 in the bank, right?
Yeah, he's got another turn after this one, but
He doesn't have anything. Like,
he's got a feeling of dread.
right.
And he's got to think twice. Like, don't you just sit?
I mean, he wasn't going to do anything else with that mana, I guess, is why he did it.
Yeah, but I mean, dude, he can get to the point where he gets like 3 angels out and then he just kills his opponent. You know, all he's doing is just drawing 1 extra card off it. I think I just sit on it.
It might be right there.
So let's see if old Wolfie can find a buddy here. He does. We don't know what it is quite yet, but it's a school and villager, and they become paired. So Patrick in response says, I'm going to sack my Evolving Wilds, and then I'm assuming that we're going to see the needed feeling of dread here.
Yeah, I'd imagine that definitely comes into play.
Out of the... Oh, there's a think twice first. What did he draw? Oh, look, Patrick's tanking. It's a bonfire. That is not going to do it here. Is it? Oh, the vessel?
Yeah.
Does the vessel make it 8? Oh, man. That was
He
big.
doesn't have to make it 8.
Yeah.
Killed a little bit.
Oh, because it'll unpair.
The big guy died.
Duh. Yeah, you're right. It was actually for 6. Yeah, good point. Which was enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Jeez, these miracles. And again, Patrick is just in a great spot, and you see Sam sort of flippantly throw out the villager or the Avacyn's Pilgrim. He's not happy about that.
He knows the writing is on the wall.
It is. I mean, Patrick still has to dig, but we are an Entreat the Angels away. Now he's going to go ahead and take the opportunity to just use his Temporal Mastery here as well. Play yet another land. This is going to be the biggest Entreat the Angels ever when he finally draws one. Was that a Gisela? Was that a Gisela?
Might have been. Might have also been a mountain.
Is it in his, or was it a Cliff Top Retreat? No, he would have played that.
He's got a Gisela in his deck, yes.
I think we just saw a Gisela. Ooh, Sam just ripped a Silverheart. And we're going to just tap these 2 guys down. Nope, think twice first.
Oh, there's an Entreat.
This is the Entreat?
Yeah. I found some angels.
Hey, look what I found on the top of my library.
Is that a symbol?
And he's just going to extend the hand. I mean, because that was, what, for 7 or something like that.
Yeah.
All right, Patrick Chapin takes down Sam Black in pretty impressive fashion.